Well, good evening to one and all connected with the virtual platform of Philosophy Family. On behalf of Philosophy Family, I extend a hearty welcome to all of you to witness the talk of Professor G.C. Naik in the first in the fifth webinar series. On behalf of Philosophy Family, I extend my hearty welcome and pranam to all the senior professors of philosophy, and I welcome all the students of philosophy connected with the virtual mode. Hello. Today we have with us today we have with us Professor G.C. Naik, Gorang Charan Naik, the senior most professor of philosophy. Today he will talk on the concept of bhakti in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in the fifth monthly webinar. Before her talk, it's my privilege to speak a few words on his academic pursuits. Today, Professor G.C. Naik, Professor Gorang Charan Naik, sir, is the former professor and head Department of Philosophy, Utkal University, and the former vice chancellor of Sri Jagannath Sanskrit University, Puri, Odisha, and he is also the uh, visiting professor of philosophy of Acharya Nagarjuna University, Andhra Pradesh. Today, he is with us to speak on the topic, the concept of bhakti in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Professor G.C. Naik was born in the year 1935, who happens to be more than 85 years till date. He did his bachelor degree from Ravenshaw University, Ravenshaw College at the time, in the year 1954, and awarded as the best graduate of Utkal University in that year. Dr. Naik did his MA from Allahabad University in the year 1956, and he stood first class first in university that year. He got his doctoral degree in the year 1965 from University of Bristol, England, under the supervision of Professor S. Corner, the renowned professor of philosophy. Let us reflect upon his teaching profession. Professor G.C. Naik joined as a lecturer in PG Department of Philosophy, Utkal University in 1958 and became reader. Professor Naik became professor and head in the year 1978 and worked till 1989. Professor Naik became the vice chancellor of Sri Jagannath Sanskrit University, Puri, for 3 years. That is from 1989 to 1992. Professor Naik then joined as visiting professor to Nagarjuna University, Andhra Pradesh for 2 years and retired from service in the year 1995. After his retirement, Professor Naik worked as visiting professor to University of Saskatchewan, Canada. Professor Naik was also assigned with different important academic positions for another 10 years as a senior fellow ICPR, UGC Emeritus Fellow to Banaras Hindu University, senior fellow Institute of Advanced Studies Simla from 1996 to 2006. Professor Naik was the life member of Indian Philosophical Congress, All Odisha Philosophy Association, member ICPR, General President, Indian Philosophical Congress in the year 1992, General President, Akhila Bharatiya Darshan Parishad in 2001, and panel member UGC, New Delhi. Coming to his publication, he has his books, Philosophical Reflection. He published his book, Philosophical Reflection, by ICPR in the year 1987. His other books are Evil, Karma, and Reincarnation, essays in analytical philosophy, Bharatiya Darshan, Upanishad Darshan, दार्शनिक दृष्टि रे दार्शनिक चिंतन माध्यमिक शून्यता इविल and retributive hypothesis, philosophical enterprise, and scientific spirit, understanding religious phenomenon, nirvana in Chandrakirti's Prasannapada, and 6 more books in Odia. Besides writing 18 number of books, uh, he has also more than 300 philosophical articles, and all the articles have been published in different national and international journals. To his credit, Professor Naik has edited 5 journals and organized a large number of seminars, state level and national level conferences, and delivered lectures in and outside the country. He is also a regular columnist in Odia newspaper. Professor Naik has won different medals and honors for his outstanding contribution in teaching, research, administration, and uh, in philosophical research. He has got Woodburn Prize in 1954, being the best graduate of Utkal University. Pandit Jagannath Mishra Memorial Prize for obtaining highest mark in Sanskrit VA class. Nandarani Medal for obtaining highest mark in Indian philosophy in MA examination in Allahabad University. He has also honored with Rashtriya Sanskrit Samman by HRD Ministry, New Delhi. Uh, Eminent Scholar Award by ICPR, Lifetime Achievement Award by ICPR, Pranamananda Book Prize by Indian Philosophical Congress, and many other awards. It is not possible to reflect upon all his awards here. And he has been also felicitated for his lifetime contribution in philosophical research and teaching and administration. Friends, it's our honor and privilege to have with Professor Naik as the speaker of 5th monthly webinar on the topic, the concept of bhakti in Bhagavad Gita and in Bhagavatam. We must offer him gratitude for giving consent to speak on the scheduled topic with the request of Dr. Basant Kumar Das. You know, Dr. Basant Kumar Das is the formerly head Department of Philosophy, Ramadevi University, and an ideal student of Professor Naik. He will be with Professor Naik during his speech to help him in the digital platform. In this evening, we welcome Professor Naik, and I also welcome Professor Dr. Basant Kwadas to this evening. And it's a new topic for all of us. It's a great occasion that Professor J.C. Naik, with an age of 85 years, is with us to deliver his speech through virtual mode, which is totally new for him. Though he has delivered his first speech that in philosophy family. And before the talk of Professor Naik, let me request and call upon Dr. Basant Kumar Das to speak a few words on the theme, and then request Professor Naik to speak on the topic. Over to Dr. Basant Kumar Das. Over to Dr. Basant Kumar Naik. Over to Dr. Basant Kumar Das, sir. Hello, Basant sir. Hello, Basant sir. Sir.
Hello.
Sir.
My pranam to all, one and all. I am here with Professor J.C. Naik, and at the very outset, I welcome you all and extend my pranam to all my teachers who are present here, and all the philosophy lovers, students, and others to this webinar. Today's topic is Bhakti, and in relation to that of the Gopika Gitam of Bhagavatam and that of Bhagavad Gita, Professor Nayak, who is an expert in both Sanskrit and philosophy, he will deliver on this particular topic and he will highlight on it. And I just will speak few words on Bhakti. Bhakti in Shvetashvatara Upanishad is described as participation, devotion, and love for any endeavor. But in the Gita, it is accepted as an independent means to attain mukti or liberation. It means it is a means, it is taken as a love or devotion or unflinching faith for the Lord. In Gita, it means complete surrenderness of oneself to the Lord with knowledge of self and the absolute. And here there is a samarpana bhava, complete surrenderness. One feels he is one with the God, and thereby one melts away with the God. There is a bhava and bhakti, both therefore go together here. And bhakti are of different types. Navadha bhakti, all of you know. I will not talk anything on this. And now, Professor Naik, he will give his speech on bhakti, mostly giving emphasis on this Gopika Gitam of Bhagavad Gita and how that is related to that Gita, that he will highlight. Bhagavatam and Gita, this concept of bhakti that he will deliver. Now I request him to give his speech.
ଏଇଟା କହିବି ନା ଲଗେଇବି ଆଉ ଗୋଡ଼ରେ ଦୁଇ ଚାରିଟା ଖୋଜିବ ଏନିୱେ କହୁଛି ଆରେ ଗୋଡ଼ ଛାଡେ ଗୋଡ଼ କାଢେ ଗୋଟା ଖସିଯିବନି ନା ମୁଁ ଏଠି ବସିବି ଠିକ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଏଠି ବସିବି କହୁଛି ମା ଓ ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मे प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमो ब्रह्मण्य देवाय गो ब्राह्मणिताय जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः Friends, today's topic is a very vast topic, as you know, a very intricate topic. As you all know, I'm glad that you are all present, but remember that we cannot discuss this topic. This topic, even partly we cannot discuss it in one session. So I would need at least 2 to 3 sessions for this topic. Let us try to understand it. Just kind disturb culturally at least need 2 to 3 sessions. First of all, I'm grateful to you and Professor Basant Das for the introduction that you have given. Professor Kailash Maharana has given the introduction. I'm grateful to him. I'm grateful to Professor Basant Das, who has introduced me to this novel technique about which I am completely ignorant. Technique is very important. That technique was there when Sri Krishna talked to Arjuna also in another form. That's why they thought, and that you know Sanjay and Dhritarashtra were listening on the other side. But before talking about this topic, I would request you to take note of my own assessment of myself. You must know to whom you are talking. You have got the introduction from Professor Maharana, and you know Professor Basandas has arranged this meeting. And my whole family also is listening. They are very much interested. My sons, my daughter also, my granddaughter also, granddaughters also. They are all interested. But my wife is also interested in her own way. But the question is, you must know my limitation. And my limitation is that, let me put in a nutshell. I am a Pandit. I am a Pandit, you must take note of myself. As, as a Pandit, in a small scale, miniature scale, Pandits have been worshipped, have been respected, also they have been ridiculed because of their partial approach to the truth. Any approach you do, that will be partial. The truth is so vast, so inaccessible, that whatever approach you take, that will become partial. But Pandits are very well known for going, making this partial approach to the truth. That's why they are criticized. Panditastra guna sarve, murkha doso hi kevalam. That has been spoken in another way, but people have taken it in a light way. That Pandits have all sorts of virtues, but they have one typical mistake which they commit, and that is murkha dosa. They're actually fools. And as a matter of fact, I will not fools before the truth, which is so vast, so unlimited. All. So why I said that I am a Pandit, I agree, I am a Pandit. Because I have got this recognition from my Guru. Not only through certificates, my headmaster in my school days, I remember, his name is, he was very famous in his own way, in his time. His name is Basant Kumar Das. He was the headmaster of famous high school at Cuttack, Barrymore Academy. I hope it is in Cuttack. Now I have gone through so many places. I do not know whether I am at Cuttack myself or not. That is Barrymore Academy, which was named after the great man, Barrymore Acharya. And my headmaster was Basant Kumar Das, the famous father of the great illustrious daughter, Minati Das, the great dancer. After seeing my result in 8th class only, he had phoned to my father. This is a great achievement of mine, apart from other achievements which have been taken note of by Professor Maharana and Professor Vasant Das ji. He had phoned to my father in 8th class itself, class 8, not even going to 9. He had phoned to my father, Tama puo pandita habo hai. That was his typical statement. And as is expected, this great man's, my great teacher's prediction has come true in some way or the other. I have become a mini Pandit in a mini school with all its advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages are many, but I cannot do anything about it. Advantages are also many. With this introduction, I had to give my own introduction also. So I agree that I have had many unnecessary, undue disadvantages which have been associated with my learning and teaching, which might not have been liked by many around me, certainly not in my family or anywhere else. It doesn't matter. Now to coming to the topic, which I cannot finish. Last time the topic was easier, much easier, because we don't do anything at this stage. Last time it was much easier because we were talking about the inimitable, the ultimate reality. There we can always go ahead in our own way. As in Mahimna Stotra it has been said, Mahimna param te parama bijuso jadya sadushi, stutir brahmadinam api tadava sarnastvaidira, atavachya sarva samati parinama vijiguram, mama pesa stotre hara nirupavada parikara. The Lord is so much beyond our realization that we can do anything, we can say anything that we like. So we can always say that He is above our limited knowledge, and that's all. That was all right, but this bhakti has a specific claim about it. That Lord, that the very concept of the universe, the Lord of the universe is beyond our imagination, beyond our logic. This is very easy to capture, understand. But bhakti has a typical sort of, what shall I say, arrogance about it. Bhaktas are not arrogant. Bhakti has some sort of arrogance about it. But bhakti can make us nearer to God. Great saints have told like this. Scholars have told like this. That the Lord, that the universe cannot be captured, cannot be understood through other means, through means like logic, through means like mathematics, means like science. All these means, karma, dharma, but bhakti can make us go near God. This is a typical sort of arrogance, I should say. But how is it that the Lord has given some specific power to bhakti for taking us near the Lord? I can't understand that. I don't know this can at all be proved. But that has been our idea that bhaktas are nearer to God. And certainly we take some people as instances of bhakta, and then they think that they are nearer to God. But one thing is very peculiar. There is sort of, how shall I put it, sort of difficulty in understanding this, because The bhaktas themselves never, those who are great bhaktas, have never assumed that they have known the God, known the ultimate reality. They have never admitted they are lost in bhakti. They have gone through that way, but they have never admitted they have got the realization of the ultimate reality. So here we have a sort of paradox. The man who has never claimed to knowledge of God is taken as knowing God, a sort of paradox, which is there in Upanishad also. Tasya matam, tasya matam, matam dasya navedasa, avidyatam vijanatan, vidyatam avijanatan. One who thinks that he knows, he doesn't know. One who doesn't know, he may be knowing. He may be knowing. Tasya matam matam tasya. Abhijnatam vijanatam, vijnatam abhijanatam. So taking this paradox as the basis of discussion, I will go ahead. The paradox is there at the basis. Why this happens actually? This is because human beings are limited. We all are limited. The greatest administrator is limited. The greatest scholar is limited. Therefore, I said, last time we discussed about the unlimited, the beyond. This time we are talking about the limited persons knocking at the doors of the unlimited. Whosoever he may be. And not only knocking, as if they have entered into the arena. This is very difficult to understand and assess. In any case, we will take the help of Bhagavad Gita and other literatures in this respect to understand this and assess this paradox. Bhagavad Gita says that there are 4 types of bhaktas. Chaturvidha bhajante man, jana sukritam Arjuna. Kindly take all these in the background of the first shloka which I have uttered from the Kena Upanishad, Jasya matam, matam jasya navedasa, abhijnatam vijanatam, vijanatam, that is the only the basis, then we discuss Bhagavad Gita. 4 types of bhaktas, Gita says. Artha, Jignasu, Artharthi, and Jnani. I will discuss only in a nutshell this time. If you are interested and if you agree, I will go the second series of lectures some other day, because I can't go to Gopika Gitam, and Gopika Gitam I can refer only, nor can I exhaust Bhagavad Gita today. But 4 types of bhaktas let us discuss. Artha, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnana. Let us take some examples. Jnani Bhakta, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he is myself. He is as good as my soul, myself. And here we take the examples of bhaktas like Uddhav. Uddhav is both Jnani and Jignasu. He wanted to know certain things, very important points, and therefore he asked Bhagavan Sri Krishna about bhakti and wanted to know. When Sri Krishna told him to go to Badrika Ashram, he asked him, why should I go? I must be with you, and I have learned from you enough, and I will learn from you. But he said, Lord Krishna said, you should go. You should go away from me. You learn from me, and now you go away from me to learn further. Learning is never over. Sakala Tirtha Tocarane, Badrika Jivitika, that was the question of Uddhav. What Krishna here says, learning is never finished. Go beyond. Look at the beyond here. And ultimately Uddhav admitted this and went. And so he is both Jigyasu and also Jnani. And Arthati, one wants some things to be added to him. Some actual benefit from God. If anybody wants, you can take the example so in the Puranas, like Sugriv and Vibhishan. Both of them have got the things that they wanted from the Lord. Vibhishan, Lanka, Sugriv, Kiskindha. So they are all, how shall I put it? They are all, let me put this machine all right to be near you. They were all connected with God or with the ultimate Almighty by way of being Arthati. And Artha Bhakta, you can take him as Godendra, the elephant who was in trouble and got the machine is creating problem. Oh. That is creating problem. Artha Bhakta is
ठीक अच्छी सर कहतु किसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं कहतु
Artha Bhakta. That's why Chaturvidha Bhajante Ma Chana Sukrutanurtina Arto Jignasu Arthati Jnani cha Bharatarsa. And Jnani also is regarded as a Bhakta in this hierarchy. And Artha Bhakta also is your both Prahlad and Dhruva. They were Artha. Prahlad can be regarded as a Jnani Bhakta also, but he knew that the Lord is everywhere. The Lord is everywhere. Vatsalyad abhaya pradana samayat arthat nirbapana औदार्यादः शोषणात् अगणितश्रेयः प्रदप्रापणात् सेव्यः श्रीपतिरेक एव जगताम् इतैः तत्साक्षिणः प्रह्लादस्य विभीषणस्य कल्याणं पाञ्चल्यहर्यात्मा. There are different types of bhaktas whose name have been mentioned in this. Because there, when this first sloka of this is Prahlada Prabhurasti Chettavavai Sarvatra me darshaya Stambhe Charinamiti Dhruvantamasura Tatra Vidasi Gari. So he saw Nrsimha everywhere. And even Mahakavi Kalidas also saw Krishna's Mayura Pucha in the beauty of cloud when there is the sunlight reflected in the cloud. Tatra chaya betikaraiva tekhametat purastat Valmikagrat pravati dhanushkhanda makhandarasya yena shyamam vapuraticharan kanti mahapasyatete. He saw that the Lord Krishna's Mayura Pucha is being reflected in the cloud. Yena shyamam vapuraticharan kanti mahapasyatete varhene vaspultivikina gopavesasya Vishnu Gopala Krishna. So all these are different ways of looking at the unlimited, of the infinite. That's why even in your the prayer in Christianity, as we all know, lead kindly light, lead thou me on. I will then encircling you. I do not want to see the distance. One step enough for me. That means it is inexhaustible. Bhakti is inexhaustible. Bhakta is inexhaustible, and the object of worship also is inexhaustible. You cannot exhaust any of them. That's why I said we can only touch certain aspects of Bhakti. You cannot exhaust them. Different ways of classifying is available to us. Vatsalya Bhakti, for example, we see it in Yashoda. And in Devaki maybe. But then Devaki's relationship with Krishna is mysterious. That's why in Srimad Bhagavad the word is used, Devaki Janma Bhado. That Lord Krishna was born from Devaki is only a theory. It was theory, theoretically true. You can't give any proof of it. That's why we'll discuss in the next session. যাদব কুলে জাত হই তোর জন্ম মৃত্যু নাই. People say that you were born as Jadava, but then actually you are onward. Jadava kule jato hoi. This is Srimad Bhagavata as it translated by Jagannath Das in Dasamuskanda Gopalila. It is said that he was born as a Jaduvanshi. But actually, Jadava kule jato hoi. He was born, it is said, but actually is beyond birth and death. Adi Antana. So I think language fails. In Avatar Bad also, language fails. When you talk of avatar, language cannot grasp the whole of it. We'll talk about that in Gopika Yuddham of Bhagavat in greater details in some other lecture. But I have only started with Bhagavad Gita. I will give a hint from Gopika Gita. Because gopis are supposed to know Krishna in very close quarters. There was another lady, that is Sabari, whose bhakti has been taken note of in Ramayana, who gave some fruits to Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, after testing whether it is sweet or not. And Sabari's devotion has been regarded as a very important phase in our bhakti cult. As it is said by Tulsidas Goswami Tulsidas Ji. कह रघुपति सुनु भामनी बाता मानो एक भगति करनाता. So somebody also has that particular type of bhakti which can be counted in bhakti cult. So there are so many, but what I find is that there is endless. This is the endless flow. And if it is endless flow, you cannot say that there is somewhere perfection in it, that we have attained to perfection. Because take any case, even Prahlad, Dhruva, or anyone, Prahlad, Vibhishana, or nobody has claimed that he has got God, got the Almighty in his full capacity. That means my point is the bhakti also does not give you the final. There is nothing final there. Because you look at his universe. The universe itself is beginningless and endless. So bhakti and bhakta is also like that. That is why the ultimately says, don't ask, only surrender. Sarvadharman parijajya mamekam saranam. And then so many alternatives are given. You surrender all actions and its fruits to me. And even if you are unable to do this, you do something else, then you do something else. Sarva karma phala tyagam tatah kurudatatva. You just surrender all your results of karma. What it means is that it is a process. Bhakti itself is a process. It is not a product. It is taken as a product. But it is the man who comes as a product, the best product of bhakti, he is also in the process. Goes. You talk of Dasya Bauli. Can we say that he has finished? That's him. You can say. It goes on. If the process goes on, process never ends. It is an endless process, endless flow. The reason is The ultimate is endless, is beginningless and endless. This universe is like that. And that is so in 11th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Anadi Madhyanta Mananta Vilyam Ananta Bahum Sasasurya Netra. To the ultimately one hour time କେତେ ହଉଛି କେତେ ଟାଇମ ଦରକାର 15 minutes 20 minutes ତମ ଟାଇମ କେତେ ଦେଇଛ 7:30 ସବୁଟା କ୍ଲିୟର କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ସେ ଅନୁସାରେ କହିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ନା man always man has a interest in keeping everything in a limited form. He also sees Bhakta, Bhakti, Bhagavan, Lord, everything also in a limited form, limited scale. This is all right in his own sphere, because he comes in the form of a child, comes in the form of a friend. But if you ask Arjun, he will never say that he has found his Govinda entirely to himself. The aspect of miracle is always there. There is a sort of endlessness in the sphere of limited. And Bhakti gives us the glimpse to that. And in Gopika Geetam, I am giving some hint of Gopika Geetam, 10th canto, Dasamaskanda, Gopalila. The whole thing is very mysterious because gopis who are very much in communion with Lord Krishna, they are mystified ultimately. There is some sort of mysticism associated. And this happens everywhere there is a bhakta. This mysticism is associated. In case of Hanuman, Hanuman is a Jnani Bhakta and also one who has surrendered himself to the Lord. But he is never satisfied with the revelation. There is always a desire for the beyond. The concept of beyond about which we discussed in the first talk and first discussion of ours also extends to bhakti. The beyond, the concept of beyond comes here also. Here also the concept of beyond comes. That means bhakta never is satisfied. Yes or not HPO? The concept of beyond here also is to be noted. For bhakta also, if somebody thinks God is put into the pocket of bhakta, then he is mistaken. If anybody thinks that the ultimate reality is known fully by anybody in any situation, is wrong. The entire thing is beyond our limited understanding. That's why in that famous lines, those famous lines, lead kindly light, lead thou me on, amidst the encircling gloom. I do not want to see the distant scene. One step enough for me. This distant scene, even if he said that I do not want to see, everybody wants to see the distant scene. But the distant scene, again, once it comes to you, comes near you, again, it becomes limited, and man again aspires to go beyond that. That means this distance remains always distant. So if you take any example, whether in case of Hanuman or in case of Sabri, the question of lover and beloved, the question of devotee and the object of devotion, it's a mysterious relation. Ultimately, the end, sorry, Ramade,
Yes.
the ultimate relationship becomes mysterious. It is as if you have got it, and again it slips you. It is beyond yourself. I think this is the very nature of the universe. Neither you Wittgenstein nor Einstein. Nobody can say that he has got hold of reality in full, in its completeness. So it is said, Sarvadharman Parijajya, Mamekam Saranam Vraja. Just you take that much which is necessary. That also is said in Bhagavad Gita. Javan Artha Udapane, Sarvata Sampruto Gate, Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmana Savijanata. Vedas are there, but you take only that much that is of use to you. So neither Karma Yoga, nor Bhakti Yoga, nor Jnana Yoga, any other yoga is self-sufficient. There is nothing self-sufficient. The world goes ahead or goes back, whatever you call it. These are our own creations. Finally, you cannot catch hold of reality. It is endless. It is beginningless and endless. That's why look at Gopika Gita. We'll discuss about that later on. It will take a lot of time. The relationship between gopis and Sri Krishna, the mysterious relation. Ultimately, gopis become satisfied in their own way, but they were also not satisfied. This is the first sloka which I take note of. How Nakaru Gopika Nandono Bhava, Akhila Dehina Mantara. They have known Sri Krishna and Jashoda Nanda as the son of Yashoda. But now they say, Nakuru Jashoda Nandana Bhavan. Nakuru Jashoda Nandana Bhavan. You are not Akhila Dehina Mantaratmata. Vikanasarthito Vishwabhukte. Chakaudevan Sartatam. They realize that this form, the entire thing that has come to them in a revelation, as it were, is something beyond their control, beyond their own understanding. That's why they say Nakuru Gopika Nandano Bhava. And the great Jagannath Das of ours has put it in his own words. Tu no Jashoda Kumaro. Tu no Jashoda Kumaro. You are not Jashoda's Ladla. Tu no Jashoda Kumaro. Jibono Otu Praniko. You are the very life. That means, if you put it in the terminology of the great philosopher Bergson, that is the great French philosopher, the elan vital, the very elan vital, the very life process, the process that goes ahead. That's why this prayer, this Christian prayer, very important, famous Christian prayer. I do not want to see the distancing. One step enough for me. Because if you want to distancing, you cannot understand. Supposing I want to see the distancing of 21st century, I may understand a little. But if you want to see the distancing of 22nd century, something we may not understand what it is. Just as we cannot understand what corona is, now we are making research. So something will come. Some other universe will come. It will have its own logic. Don't put the unlimited into your own pocket, but delight in him. But take the best of advantage out of it, just as Prahlada did, just as Dhruva did. They are our models. Prahlada is a model, Dhruva is a model, and this Sabari is a model. Vibhishana is another model. Vibhishana is another model who was interested in worldly affairs. And yet he was a bhakta. And those who were not interested in worldly affairs, like Prahlada, they are also bhaktas. And this Gopika, different varieties. If you say, I will put all these varieties in one form, in one word, in one basket, you will be mistaken. Universe is not meant for that. You can put all of them in one basket. You can take your own, just as Bharata had something to see in Rama. Lakshmana saw something else in Rama. Sita saw something else. Hanuman, the nearest being who was dearest to the heart of Lord Rama, the very ultimate reality in that context. He never claimed Rama to be his own, who can be put in his own pocket. Similar is the case with Uddhav. Similar is the case with Gopikas. Gopikas, whenever they thought they have got Krishna, they were mistaken. And then Bhagavat says, Krishna left them. And they were left in darkness. And they went on running in search of the Lord. Nakuru Gopika Nandano Bhavan, Akhila Deina Mantara Tantu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, therefore, who was one of the greatest lovers of Lord Krishna, he said, that I have never got Krishna, got the reality in full. It has always, so to say, I have never found the entire reality, because the love that is requisite love for Krishna is never there with me. That means I am running short of the ideal of love or devotion, which is necessary for getting the Lord. He said, I am just making an interruption here. Dure Shuddha Prem Bandhu. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kapot Premer Bandhu. That means I was talking of love, talking of devotion in Ramayana and also in Gopikas. Here I am talking from Chaitanya, who is Sri Chaitanya, who is the modern, the latest edition of the lover of Krishna, who says that I have never found my love in completion. It is beyond my. It is beyond, because today Shuddha Prem Bandhu, Kapat Premer Bandhu, Taha more nice Krishna Pai. Tabe je kari kronde, please don't disturb. Nai, tabe je kari krondon, to saubhagya prakhyapon kori ami. My love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is supposed to be the greatest lover of Krishna. He says that I have never loved Krishna. Well, that means what do you find? You find this devotion or love is only a model, is an idea. It is never completed by anybody. Nobody claims. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also doesn't claim. Today Shuddha Prem Bandha, Kapat Premer Bandha, Tahamur Nahi Krishna Pai, Tabe je Kari Kramdam, Soto Bhakya Prakhyapam, Koriya Jani Mystery. That is another day when we will talk of this Gopika Gita, we will discuss that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is supposed to be the greatest model of love of Krishna in the present age. But he says that I am not a proper lover of Krishna. I am only making a pretense of love. That means, again, the model, the ideal is slipping us. That means what I have said in the very beginning. The end is beyond. At no stage can we say that we have found the end. It is an endless process. Kindly take it as an endless process and go on steadily. That is why Thakur Ankur Chandraji, who is a great saint of the modern age, and his Satyanusaran is so very important text according to me. not only regarding love of Lord, but also in so many other aspects that it is said, ସତରେ ନିରବଚ୍ଛିନ୍ନ ସଂଲଗ୍ନ ରହିବାର ଚେଷ୍ଟାକୁ ହିଁ ଭକ୍ତି କହନ୍ତି। ସତରେ ନିରବଚ୍ଛିନ୍ନ ସଂଲଗ୍ନ ରହିବାର ଚେଷ୍ଟାକୁ ହିଁ ଭକ୍ତି କହନ୍ତି। Go on making endless effort to be connected with the ultimate reality or Sat forever and forever. That's why mathematicians will never say that I have come to the end of life. A philosopher can never say that I have come to the end of life. Nobody, a lover can never say I have come to the end of love. That's why in Gopika Gita it has been shown that when Gopikas thought that they have got Lord Krishna, at that very moment Krishna left them. This is a very important thing. Kindly think about it. Don't take as something delivered as a lecture by some G.C. Nayak, who is important in his own way, because he is a Pandit. But in another aspect, he is as unimportant as mere dust particles. So kindly put it in your own oven, in your own basket, and test them. What is actually happening here? The research is going on. No researcher is satisfied. They get something, but they don't say it is the ultimate. It appears to be ultimate. Again it changes. He says Eureka, but there is no Eureka. No, nothing corresponding Eureka. For the time being, he gets something. That takes it mind. That's why Sri Krishna Chaitanya says, দূরে শুদ্ধ প্রেম গন্ধ কপট প্রেমের বন্ধ তাহাতে সেও মোর নাহি কৃষ্ণ পায় তবে যে করি ক্রন্দন I would end it today for this. তবে যে করি ক্রন্দন সৌভাগ্য প্রখ্যাপন করিয়া জানিও। But if you find that I'm a great lover of Krishna, the ultimate reality, and I am trying for love of Krishna, তবে যে করি ক্রন্দন সৌভাগ্য, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, সৌভাগ্য প্রখ্যাপন করিয়ান। I am only making a showmanship of love for Krishna. I am only making a showmanship. That means he says, as the Gopikas ultimately realized that they have got Krishna, but never got Krishna in his fullness. There is yet to go. Last line, I will discuss this in another talk of mine. If you don't call it talk, it is a reflection, self-reflection. I am reflecting myself. I am making comments on myself as it were. So the Gopika Gita, at that time, Tasam Abhirabhu Sauri, Swayamana Mukhambuja. They again saw Krishna, but Sakkhan Manmata, but they did not found Krishna. So Eureka, even if you get, then you go ahead. Again, there is something to go beyond. So bhakti, whether in Bhagavad Gita or in Bhagavad, it only gives us a glimpse of something beyond. And that glimpse is the most enticing part of it. You look at Hanuman, when he is appreciated by Rama, he says, no, I have not got the final. If you talk Dasya Bauri, the same thing. Everywhere, Dasya Bauri comes and you are talking that he is seeing Lord Jagannath in his rice bowl. Again, that means Jagannath he has seen. Again, he is beyond. He has not found Jagannath in fullness. That means this universe, there is something which is so very near to us. It is both near and far away. That's why one word is here. Durastham Jantike. It is near us and also it is beyond us. Bhakti gives us an understanding that it is both near and far away. And a bhakta, I saw only on the other day, your chief minister, our chief minister rather, going and praying to Lord Jagannath, and he, in a beautiful apparel, he was standing before Lord Jagannath, again going beyond. He was going beyond. Jagannath is beyond. He was going beyond himself. That's why he is chief minister. If he was not going beyond, he will not be chief minister. He was an ordinary man like us. When he surrenders himself to Jagannath and sees something beyond and makes solid effort, like the effort that was made to find Eureka, to get a glimpse of and get at the ultimate in his own sphere. There is nothing like own sphere. It appears to be own. It is assigned to you. Somebody is businessman, somebody is a scholar. But everywhere there is that beyond, and everywhere there is something which comes near us. The same Nrsimha came near Prahlad, but he was beyond Hiranyakashipu. He is both beyond and near us. That is realized through bhakti. And your jnana also is like that. Any sphere of when you go beyond yourself, you get this. So kindly see the beyond in a small sphere, and also in the beyond also you see your own model. That is learned from Bhakti and Bhakta. And that is why Bhakta is always, if you think Bhakta is just a spineless creature, no. He is never a spineless creature. He is also greatest activist, but at the same time, he also surrenders himself to the model, to the highest, because nothing is end at an end. This you find in Gopika Gita in full form of Bhagavata, which has been there in Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, which is never complete. It will remain incomplete. Even if I get another chance of talking to you, it will remain incomplete. That doesn't matter. But even if incomplete, we must go and dive. Have you seen the divers? They never give up diving. If you say you have dived to such and such level last time, then he says, no, I will go beyond that. So it is like a divers, D-I-V-E-R, divers game. And at the same time, the end is never at your pocket, in your pocket. তবে যে করিক্রন্দন সুসৌভাগ্য প্রখ্যাপন, if you think that I have got it, you are wrong. But I am going on beyond. So Bhakti gives us a very complete picture of ultimate reality, where we get the ultimate reality as our own, and at the same time we will know that it is beyond us. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Maharana and Professor Das and all those who are connected with this latest mechanism, which has given us this facility to talk to ourselves. This is not all. This will go on. This is only 21st century. This 21st century sir. This going on 2022. We are talking. 2022, na? That's all that. Is it the end? We are only talking in this. To the end, endless. We have talked about the endless in this sphere, in this small sphere. Kindly think about it. And if you have any questions later on, you can discuss with me later on. Thank you. And then we will discuss beyond. With that Gopika Gitam we will go and we will talk to Chaitanya Chaitamya. Thank you.
Hello. 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 Thanks so much, sir, for your illuminating speech on the theme, the concept of Bhakti, Bhakta Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and especially Gopika Gitam. Today, we all are fortunate to have you in this digital platform where your senior teachers, where your senior students, and our teachers, Professor Prafula Kumar Mahapatra sir, Professor Saroj Kumar Mahanti sir, Professor
Many
Ganesh
thanks.
Prasad Das sir,
Thank you.
and
Thank
many
you.
others.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Sorry, Yola. Stop, maybe out.
Stop please.
कौन करो
Kailash Babu, you unmute yourself. Kailash Babu, unmute करो, सुबुनी. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Everything.
Mote, mote subini. Mote subini. Thanks so much, sir, for your illuminating speech on the theme, the concept of bhakti in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and especially in Gopika Gitam. Today, we all are fortunate, sir, to have you with this digital platform where your senior students and our teachers, Professor Prafula Kumar Mahapatra sir, Professor Saroj Kumar Mahanti sir, and Professor Ganesh Prasad Das sir, and many others are connected with you to listen from you. Sir, I find no words to appreciate your talk. I simply offer my gratitude on behalf of Philosophy family. Now it's time for interaction with Professor Naik. I think Mrs. Nivedita Priyadarshini, faculty member of SPM Autonomous College Jagatsinghpur, is with us to moderate the interactive session. Okay, Nivedita madam. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, please carry on the session with Dr. Basant Pradar sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Pranam, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such a beautiful explanation on the concept of bhakti.
Please tell your introduction.
Hello.
Nivedita Priyadarshini, Jagatsinghpur College.
Yes, sir. Sir, Pranam. I am a lecturer in SBM Autonomous College, Jagatsinghpur. Sir, Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such a beautiful explanation of the concept of bhakti. It is a great honor for me to listen you.
Thank you.
Now your session is open for discussion. The first question I'm going to. So, Basant sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Sir, I am going to present all questions one by one. So please communicate that to Professor JC Naik, sir.
Exactly, what is the question?
Yes, sir. The first question is by Kailash Chandra Das, sir. That bhakti is a process, not a product. Is it a process overcoming sorrow, fear, anger, like negative emotions to make one able to pursue his good life?
So this is a question by Kailash Das. Kailash Das is retired teacher. From London, he is retired. He has asked a question. Bhakti is a process, not a product. It is a process of overcoming sorrow, fear, anger, like negative emotions to make one able to pursue his good life. This is the question.
This is correct. I agree. I agree. That is the help that you get. I agree, bro.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Sir, I agree with this comment.
This is you agree.
Yes.
But if you become blind and if you become dogmatic, you cannot get the advantage of this bhakti. The bhakti about which you are speaking is correct. It goes beyond negative emotions.
Yes.
But if you become dogmatic about it, then I have got the final point. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore said, I have got God Krishna in my pocket. That's why it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please explain that. Let us take out to the Instead मान लीजिए you go on now. Thakur said, Thakur Ankur said, you go on and on. सत्यरे निरवच्छिन्न संलग्न रहिबार शक्ति पनि भक्ति हो. If you go on limited and try to go and go beyond, that is bhakti. So I agree with you. Otherwise it will become negative.
Now, next question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I agree. There is nothing to disagree here.
You may please ask the next question.
Sir, this is the only one question till now. There is no more question.
How good is it?
So, Kailash sir, can we conclude here?
No, actually, if there's anyone to ask any question, Sir Prafullo sir is with us. Sir, pranam. Have you any clarification, sir? Prafullo sir, sir, pranam, sir.
ନମସ୍କାର ମୋର ମତେ ଖାଲି ଏତିକି କହିବି ଯେ ଅନେକ ଦିନ ପରେ ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ ସୁଯୋଗ ମିଳିଲା thank you very much for this because a holiday of speculation from the weekdays of ordinary thought. Thank you very much. It was illuminating talk.
It is my heart. Prafullo is my heart. Prafullo is my heart.
I like it. I like it. Sir.
Prafullo himself is in my heart. Thank you very much. You and I are one and the same. Yeah, you are in my heart. We will talk next time. I am again anticipating and waiting for another meet, which will be arranged by Professor Maharana and Professor Basant Das, and we will meet again. This is not the end of it. I have started discussing Gopika Gita. We have not done it, and I have not also exhausted Gita. It is inexhaustible, and I have also not discussed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it goes on. And yes,
Any question now?
Any
No
questions, sir?
question.
Saroj sir,
Dr.
Ganesh
cannot
sir
ask
ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି?
question. Dr. himself
Sir,
will reply to all my questions. Saroj sir.
sir
Saroj.
Ganesh sir ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି?
Dr. Saroj Mahanti.
Saroj Mohan sir, Ganesh sir ଅଛନ୍ତି?
Ganesh Dash. Many thanks. Professor Ganesh Dash.
सर प्रणाम सर प्रणाम सर प्रणाम सर
ପ୍ରଣାମ।
प्रणाम ଜଣାଉଛି सर प्रणाम ଜଣାଉଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଡିଜିଟାଲ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମ ଦେଖିକିରି मैं क्लारिफिकेशन
Yes, yes. Ganesh they are all
Ganesh sir mute कर देना।
here and here one कौन कोच नहीं
कॉपी वाला गोरे सर कॉपी वाला देखा ना
देखिए कौन बोलो टेलीविजन ये आपके प्रश्न ये शेयर है मुझे
सर कौन कोच लेगा सुब्रत
सुनो तमिल सुनो
म्यूट कर दीजिए
आज्ञा अच्छा प्रॉब्लम
गोरे सर
हेलो हेलो बसंत
सर
प्रज्ञा प्रकाश गोटे क्वेश्चन अच्छी
सर
प्रज्ञा प्रकाश दास का गोटे क्वेश्चन अच्छी पचार
Sir, there is one more question from Pragya Daskarnungo ma'am. The question is it possible to surrender yourself fully before a reality who you know is inaccessible?
क्वेश्चन
गणेश प्रसाद दास झील से कौन
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଠି ଆମର
କମଳା ନେହେରୁ କମଳା ନେହେରୁ କମଳା ନେହେରୁ
Question is it possible to surrender yourself fully before the reality who you know is inaccessible?
This, please listen to me. Surrendering fully before the reality is not an achievement. Don't take it as an achievement. I have an idea that whatever you say do will be an achievement on their part. It is not an achievement. What is this statement you are speaking? Statement
Is it accessible? Is it possible to surrender yourself?
if you know that
Yes.
surrendering is not an action. It is automatically happens. It is not an achievement. Surrendering automatically when you know that you cannot exhaust it. It is not inaccessible. It is inexhaustible. Kindly take note. It is not inaccessible. If it were inaccessible, I would not have heard your stop. I would not have heard Prabhu. I would not have heard I would not be sitting with Professor Bosunda. It is not fully inaccessible. It is inexhaustible. Make a distinction. Inaccessible. What is inaccessible? You can't exhaust. The universe is inexhaustible, but inaccessible. Everything is accessible here, but whatever is not accessible. You are saying, okay, I will bring a cold room, but I can't bring a glass of water. So that's not accessible. But it is inevitable, but if you get some good water here, would you say that it is inaccessible? Water is not accessible. It is inaccessible. It is not inaccessible. Things are accessible. That's why they take form. In different forms it comes. Mathematics is accessible. Philosophy is accessible. history is accessible. And this, what is this? Your laptop is accessible, and cinema is accessible. All these are accessible, but they are not fully adjusted. You can't say that I have got the final form. You will again go ahead, go ahead. Charai beti iti word in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita, in the Vedas, Upanishad, Charai beti. Go on. Don't stop. This is a wrong way of understanding that in a second, they are not the point. The ultimate reality combines all these features. We ourselves are a part and a form of this ultimate reality. We are ourselves inexhaustible, and yet we are accessible. Possible to be accessible and yet inaccessible. And surrender is a natural phenomenon. If you actually know the ultimate reality to be so, it will automatically come. Surrender itself is no achievement. There is no achievement in it. It is natural reaction. Natural step. Which happened in case of which happened in case of Hanuman. In Rama, Hanuman surrendered himself to Rama. And in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna surrendered himself to Shri Krishna. When he knew a secret place like this. Otherwise he thought that he is my friend, very good friend of mine. That is not the case. Hanuman thought when he saw Rama in his own disguise, he thought he's a Brahmin coming from somewhere. Once he knew that he is Rama, he found out that he is the picture. Try to make a distinction between accessibility and inaccessibility. Ultimately, he is not inaccessible. He comes, धोखा देता है, हमारे साइड में चला जाता है, हमारे हाथ के ऊपर चला जाता है, हमारे खाने में आता है, हमारे सोने में आता है, हर जगह आता है. But you cannot exhaust it. It comes in the form of wife, comes in the form of daughter, it comes in the form of beautiful women, comes in the form of the ugliest woman on earth. The ugliest, the worst form of disaster it comes, and the best form of attractive beauty or attractive truth it comes. So it is accessible, but not inexhaustible. That's why it is an ever attractive. You go on again in search of that eureka. Eureka कौन थोड़े ही गले सरी गले की से यूरेका तो बहुत यूरेका कर देना सरी गला से लोगों के जीवन सारा यूरेका. My whole life is a life of eureka. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. You give Kailash Maharana our thanks. Thank you, Professor Maharana.
Sir. Nivedita, any other question from any other?
No, sir, there is no more question.
Then, okay, then propose vote of thanks, madam.
이번에 말은 몰라. 그냥 고비가 기타 하고 inaccessible and inaccessible.
Sir.
Yeah, okay.
Vote of thanks.
Thank you so much for such a lucid and very beautifully presentation.
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you, sir. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Very happy to meet you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, Kola sir. Thank you, Boston sir. And thank you all the members of the session. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, hearty gratitude to all our teachers who are connected with this program, and thanks so much, Nivedita madam, for moderating the session. And hearty gratitude to Boston sir for communicating everything to Professor Naik. Thanks so much, sir.
Meet again. To meet again. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay. Salata, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Pramod sir, please close the meeting. Pramod sir. Pramod sir. Hello, Pramod sir. Pramod sir.
So I think Pramod sir has left.
Okay, close the meeting.
We
Devasis sir.
Devasi sir is also not there.
Okay, Devasis sir. No.
Hello. Hello.
Please close the meeting. Please close the meeting. The meeting is
Okay,
over.
sir. Okay, sir.